Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, once again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Ladies and gentlemen, I call myself a person that have all kinds of compassion for other people. And I try to express that in the things that I say, the posts that I make. I say some things sometimes that could sound harsh and sound mean and cold. But the truth of the matter is, I only feel like we are family. And when you're talking to your family, you have to be honest and say it just like it is. And that's all I want to do is say it just like it is. And I want to thank you so very much for giving me this opportunity to do just that. What I'm going to speak on at this moment is when you get what you deserve. The subject, once again, is when you get what you deserve. Now, I know it sounds like I'm going to come at you harsh, right? Well, there's a lot of ugly stuff happening. There's a lot of negative things happening. And if you want to address that, it might seem as if you're trying to come at somebody negative, but you're trying to clear a problem out. So what I want to say to you is this. I had to debate with another subject matter I wanted to use. I wanted to say a world of humans demonically possessed. But I thought maybe when you get what you deserve might sound better. So I chose that. The sad is they don't know it. The wonderful is they, the people, still have the power available when they awake. Take their heads out of the sand. Prove they are woke, walking out of the darkness into the light of truth. My friends, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Americans and people of the world, if you're fortunate enough to be hearing what I'm saying at this moment, I make these statements to you because I was taken to school. I was taught that people's concept of truth is what benefits them, everybody. People really do not care for one another. I ask you, what person that you know care about all people? What one person that you know care about all people? None. And yet, the people choose leaders and they choose representatives, knowing they have no concern whatsoever for all the people. Now, the public accepts these and they approve this, and as a consequence, they are normalizing injustice and empowering this injustice with their acceptance. Now, how do they do that? Why do they do that? They do this because they are empowered, they are enabled by ignorance. People, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying to you what I was given to say to you. People are as blind as a bat, thinking they are good. They are good enough to make evil look good. Fake, alternative. The truth is, when you look around, do you see any pain? Do you see any suffering? If so, then you go and ask those about your goodness. See what they got to say. See what they value about your goodness. Now, I was given a learning, and I was sent around the country to show and share the message. The message was about the reality of the resources of the earth given with the earth for whomever could or choose to use it. The purpose is that whatever humans choose to make, important or not, would not infringe on others, yet be honored. You've heard me say, and if you haven't, I got a video on it. Check it out. The plan of life engages men in the process of satisfying the needs, satisfying the wants, satisfying the desires of one another. Life does that. It engages you in the process of making sure that one another have their needs, their wants, and their desires met. And it enables you through doing this, through this process, to experience peace. It enables you to experience prosperity and freedom, joyfulness, happiness, and your dreams lived. Now, do you know any politician talking to you about stuff like this? Such social beauty? Do you know of any religious order talking to you about stuff like that now? Now, I was taught that humans are fake, mostly unknowing. On several occasions, I carried this message to her, and this message of truth and life, a presentation of befitting the invisible powers, and offered it to the public, choosing the platforms, yes, my friends, candidates for U.S. President, U.S. Senator, Governor, State of Minnesota, Mayor, City of St. Paul, Mayor, City of Woodbury, Minnesota. Capitalistic democracy had no room for any such concern as these mentioned thus far. No political party was interested, neither the news media, in a candidate campaigning without begging and spending money. You see, I took this approach because this campaign was to reward, say that again, the campaign that I've been speaking to you about, ladies and gentlemen, the things that I've been sharing with you about, was to be a reward for a worthy people. You hear that? A worthy people would have rejoiced in such a way that the world couldn't miss it, and change would be possible. But an unworthy, living in darkness, blind, head stuck in the sand, would not, could not take advantage of an opportunity such as that. But a time would come when they will be able to express themselves. 2015 was that time. This is 2023. And this evilness the people deserve and chose to represent the worldliness with alternative truths, lies and racisms and hatred and bigotry. Now that is what a demonically possessed people wanted. And to this date, they haven't given up on it. And the good people, look around. Are there any pain and suffering amongst the people? I probably rest my case. You see, if you ask those that are suffering about your goodness, well, I think you know what they say. I want to leave a note. When I say demonically possessed people, I'm speaking of all people. I'm not speaking of some people. I'm speaking of white people. I'm speaking of black people. And I'm speaking of all the shades in between. I'm speaking of the religions all over the world. especially religion. I'm speaking of Jews and Gentiles. I'm speaking of Protestants and Catholics. I'm speaking about religions that you know that I'm not naming. And why do I say that? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I stand here today because of miracles. I stand here today because I've been loved by God. And God has used me to educate me so I can stand here and tell you this truth. I ain't got nothing. Why don't I have anything? Because I promised myself and that my efforts to really accomplish something would be predicated on all of us, you, the people, accomplishing something at the same time. That means changing things, changing the way things happen. So I don't have, it's not like I'm there doing this for you, but changes all over the place. So in some kind of way, each of us engage ourselves and experience this change in a most magnificent way. That's what I promised myself. Then, as I can relax, because I know I can do what I want to do, and you can too. I know I can live like I want to live, and you can too. I know I got my career, and you do too. I know that I can enjoy life and be happy and live my dreams, and you can too. Why? Because we trusted in God. We didn't let some man come to us, or we did, but we woke up. We woke people. We used to be dead. We were asleep. We were walking, living in darkness. Our head buried in the sand. We were just paradox stupid because we were trained to be that way. But somehow, some magic, it seems, speared our way. And we woke up. And we could see the light, the impressiveness of the light, and we were able to turn around and see the darkness from whence we came. We didn't get upset with you. We know you are blind just like we were. If you weren't blind and you doing this stuff intentionally, then maybe we would be some other attitude. But I know you're blind because we were blind. We were blind to allow you to do what you're doing. You're blind to do what you're doing to the human race. And so this mission of life is to see who amongst us will be blessed to see the love of God in what is being said and done in this midst of darkness. Who will take their heads out of the sand and free themselves, knowing that from that point on there ain't nothing anyone can do to harm you, to hurt you, and everything the devil come to do to you is nothing but to bless you. Well, that's my testimony for today. I just wanted to say that what's happening in the world today, ladies and gentlemen, it's happening because this is who we are. This is what we deserve. I know you heard the message, but this is what we deserve. Absolutely. And we're going to get worse if we don't do better. So it's not good enough for us to go back and talking about standing. Your president was talking about a lot of stuff. I've been listening to him. It sounds really good compared to what everybody else is talking about. You can be excited about it. But I want you to know this. Is it good enough? Ask yourself, having utilized every penny that you can, utilize every penny that you can, is there anybody out there going through any pain? Is there anybody out there going through any suffering? And if that's so, then you go ask those people that suffered how good your plan is. So, what he's actually saying, if your plan ain't God's plan, it ain't nothing but a game. They don't know it. And if they can get away with it, it's because you don't know it. And so, you get what you deserve. Anyway, thank you so very much for giving me this your time. Until next, Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.